Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso. I'm getting a little bit more excited for this one. I mean, maybe it's because of the talk, maybe because a lot of people are feeling like that Grasso has this big chance, and it's kind of making things a little bit interesting. Um, Now, y'all aren't hypnotizing me like y'all done with Macy Barber, Montana De La Rosa, and you're not going to hypnotize me like you did with, or tried to, with Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo. I don't know what I was thinking. I was about to pick Cynthia. Look, I like Cynthia. Y'all know I like Calvillo, but picking her against Andrade, I don't know what y'all were thinking. But I had to jump back on Andrade train for that one. But anyways, yeah, with this one, I mean, I ain't going crazy with this fight, but I'm just a little curious as to what a lot of people are seeing here. In Alexa Grasso that makes them believe that Valentina that she has this big chance against Valentina, right? That's what I want to know. So I just, was going back looking at some footage of Alexa Grasso, just doing some studying and saying Grasso's chances are a little bit slim. I want to say they're higher than some of these last few people that she fought. Higher than Chikagan, higher than Andrade, but there's still something I feel like is lacking in Grasso, and it's not necessarily the technical skills here. Okay, it's definitely not the technical skills here because I believe that what she's been working on technically is she has some dimensions to her that could really give Valentina a tough fight, in my opinion. I think she has grown in the clinch department. I think she's been growing into the division. Physically, I think that her body has been filling out into the flyweight division. Her frame has been getting a little bit bigger. I think she's physically stronger. She's been improving on the ground. She's been working on her grappling, and she's a natural boxer. First of all, her striking, and her kickboxing, I think, is on a high level. Okay, I just think that the things that could make it very, very a very, very ugly fight for her, or a very dominant stoppage loss, could be the fact that she doesn't have that killer instinct that Valentina has. Okay, that's why I think her chances are kind of slim because of just the lack of pulling the trigger. Like technically, she's a good fighter. Grasso's a good fighter. She throws pretty punches, throws some nice kicks, has some nice footwork. She does a lot of good things in there, but I think she just sits back and admires her punches too much, or she just kind of pulls back on her strikes and she doesn't go for the gusto, you know. She doesn't go straight for it sometimes, and I think that's why a lot of fighters still had good chances to beat her in there, you know. So when you go in there fighting somebody like Valentina Shevchenko, you've got to get her respect. Like, you've got to get her respect more than with just technical skills. Like Valentina, she's the master chess player at flyweight. She'll play chess with you all day, right? So if you want to hang back and play that game, she's built for that. She prefer that more because, she's a fighter that doesn't want to take punishment, right? She's a fighter that can fight at that slow pace, that economical pace, and pick her shots. You can boo whatever you want, but she's going to do her. Like, people started booing in the Lauren Murphy fight, but Valentina stayed on it. Eventually, she turned it up whenever Lauren Murphy offered nothing, but she couldn't offer anything. But other than that, Valentina stays at this pace of a chess match. So for Alexa Grasso, to me, you got to have that you got to have that dog in you in her. You got to have that dog plus what you're bringing technically. Because you got to get under Valentina's skin. I think whenever a fighter starts to really show that they want it and they want to hit Valentina and hurt her, it puts her in a different mind state. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at her mentality when she fights Amanda Nunes, it makes the beast come out of her, but at the same time, she has to respect you. So Grasso has to bring more than just some technical skills and sit in her boxing. A lot of people think her boxing is going to win her this fight, but I don't think so. Valentina Shevchenko can box. And the thing is, like, Valentina may not be she may have not been like a high level boxer. She may have not been a boxing champion like Holly Holm, but you see in MMA, she beat Holly Holm. Okay. So she brought the right fundamentals over from boxing into the world of MMA even better than Holly Holm did. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? If you really know, go back and look at some of Holly Holm's boxing matches, and then look at how she transitions some of her fundamentals over in MMA, and then go back and look at Valentina if you can find some of her boxing matches. But look at some other boxers, and then look at how she makes her moves. You know, like the timing that she's brought over, like how she measures with her eyes, how she's studying your shoulder movements and your your foot position, and you know, just little things like that, and how she's inching forward, you know, like some of these boxers do. You know, she's and how she sets traps. Like, she brought these other little fundamentals over that I don't think a lot of people are using. Like, yeah, you can come in, okay, like a traditional boxer upstairs, and come in with that type of boxing swag, but that's not going to be enough. You know, it's about taking those little details that other fighters don't pay attention to it, and using it to the best of your ability. And that's what Valentina does. That's why I think that the boxing IQ of Grasso is not going to just purely win her this fight, because Valentina is going to understand and knows what she does. You know, she's going to see, okay, this girl's trying to box me. Okay, I know what she's going for here. You know how she's bobbing her head up and down. I'm going to set her up. I'm going to get her to walk right into the straight left hand. You know what I mean? Just little things like that. I understand that Valentina's already going to be looking for. So, you know, Grasso's going to have to do more than just try to purely box her from the outside, or purely strike her from the outside. You know, she's got to have some level of physical strength. You know, she's got to get in there and get dirty with Valentina. You know, Valentina, everybody knows physical strength is something she possesses, but to get her respect, you have to be strong. You have to be a physically strong grappler as well, you know. So hopefully somebody like Alexa Grasso has really, really been digging deep, and they've really been kicking her behind and training her, and really taking her there and exposing her in training, so she really knows what she needs to work on, right? Because that's going to be her main thing, is to really be a dog in there and be physical. And I even think have to use her grappling at times. You know, her grappling is going to be a big part of this fight, because picking her apart as a pure striker, I don't know if she's going to be able to do that. She was able to do it against a fighter like Arujo, but that just shows you what level of Arujo is on. You know, Arujo has already kind of hit that ceiling for me, you know, as far as thinking she would even be any trouble for Valentina in there, you know, especially whenever she got outpointed by Chikagian, right? So, yeah, Grasso, for me, I don't think her chances are as high as a lot of people are thinking. Like, I don't think her chances are as high as like Tyler Santos was. I mean, I think you guys already know that. Not and it's not because I don't like Alexa Grasso. I like Alexa Grasso as a fighter. I think she's entertaining, but it comes down to style, and just comes down to momentum. You know, it just comes down to the momentum of fighters. Like, I never put Alexa Grasso on my quadruple threat for a reason. You know, these other fighters I have put because there's something about them that's not just purely technical, but about their grit and about how they fight, that makes me feel like they would give the champion trouble. You know, so when you look at like Tyler Santos, yeah, I gave Tyler Santos a good chance of beating her. Did I pick her to beat her? I was like, well, I think she could, but now I still have to pick Valentina. Like, if she doesn't, she's gonna give Valentina a hell of a fight. That was the best way I could put it, because I still had to respect Valentina's level and what she's done and how many times she's defended her belt. So it was still hard to just say Santos would do it, but I knew that Santos could give Valentina some trouble, and I had her chances were high. The chances were high because of the backbone she was bringing in, and the grit and the physical strength she was bringing. I even think Manone's chances are high. I don't care what people say. You know, if people say, "Oh, she's ducking," or she didn't just go ahead and accept the fight. You know, I think whenever she comes back, you know, I think that Manone brings that type of demeanor and that type of fighting style that would give her a higher chance. against Valentina than Grasso. Yeah, Grasso may be a technically better boxer than Manon, but I think that Manon is much more of a versatile fighter with some of the things she does on her feet and what she's been working on. And just with her size and her physical strength, she'll probably take more chances. And just how she fights, just how she's been fighting throughout her career. She's only had one loss, but you see how she's fought her way up the rankings in the UFC. Like, she hasn't stopped everybody in the UFC, but she's won all of those fights in the dominant fashion. Like, she's always out to win rounds. Like, even if she's not knocking people out, she's still not sitting back. Even in the Chikagan fight, people think that fight was a fight that didn't look great, but she was still trying. Every minute of the fight, she was still trying. There was never a moment where she took her foot off the gas. Like, if Manon hurts you, she will get you out of there. But if she doesn't hurt you, she's still just going to outpoint you and do what she has to do to win. Versus, like, when I look back at Alexa Grasso's fights, you hurt Carla Esparza, why didn't you finish? Okay? Why didn't you finish that type of fight? Jin Kim, another fighter. I feel like she could have got her out of there. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, these are fighters I think she could have sat down over punches and got him out of there. Macy Barber, another fighter. I think she put on a good performance against her, but I think that she let off the gas in that third round. She let off the gas in the third round, which something I don't want to see. She gave her a round. See, with the way Manon fights, she's not fighting to give anybody rounds. If she was to lose a round, it'd be because she lost a round, right? But other than that, it's not because she's giving fighters a chance. Like, when I see Manon, whenever I saw it, she lost that one round against Caitlin Chikagan. She clearly lost it because she let Chikagan outpoint her that round, right? Can't remember which round it was, but she got outpointed that round. So that made me say, okay, that's something she got to work on. But whenever Grasso lets her foot off the gas in some of these rounds, I'm like, what is she doing? You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be losing this round. Like, again, the Macy Barber fight, I'm like, you can win this round. Macy Barber's not doing anything special here that you should be losing this round. Okay? So it's those things like that make me say the chances that Manon has are higher because she's always fighting. She's always fighting in a round after round to win. That dominant factor. She still carries that dominant factor. I believe she does. I believe she still carries it. Grasso carries more of the technical style, but she's just not that dominant to me. She's just not fighting with that dominant bone like Tyler Santos or even like Erin Blanchfield. Again, no knock to her skills, but it's just the fact that we haven't seen her go in there and finish too many fighters. Like, JoJo's the only fighter she finished out of her 6 years in the UFC. Okay? So I'm just kind of measuring that fashion. So, yeah, I just don't think that she's going to bring, like, this high level of chance and threat to Valentina like the other girls I put in my quadruple threat. The top three in the quadruple threat right now, which is Manon, Tyler, and Erin. I think those fighters, they bring that respect mode all day long. I mean, who knows though? Alexa Grasso could do something crazy. She could do something crazy. This is MMA, but I just don't see her chances being that high. I know some of y'all think it is because y'all want to see a new champion, but I'm just being real. I hope she puts up a good fight. I really do. I think she has some good technical skills in there that could be, a new look for Valentina. But as far as her being that killer, that's the thing that she's lacking that just takes away her chances to me. Yeah, and that's just how I see it. All right. So yeah, moving on though, guys. Let's talk a little bit about. Hang on one second. Let me fix one thing here. All right. Just want to pull up one more thing here because this fighter here. Well, maybe I'll talk about this in another video. I was gonna do a little comparison with Alexa Grasso and another fighter, so I'll hold off on that one. Yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think though. What are Alexa Grasso's chances for real though?